Welcome everyone tonight to the Core Racing Season 7 of our GT series. Sorry I had a little bit of computer issues. It kicked me out of the session right as we went over here to race and had to reload everything. Pull up some info here tonight. We're coming at you from the Virtual Road America here tonight. Like I said, this is week one. These drivers will have one fast repair in the pits, 17x before they get a drive-through penalty. It's 50% fuel, no cautions here for the hour-long race tonight. Looks like the track temperature is 66 degrees, and outside temperature 65, 75% humidity, a little bit of wind, 11 miles an hour. So, unfortunately, we did not get a chance to get everybody's, what am I thinking of, the grid here. But pull this up real quick. Looks like Nick Nickerson. Oh, are you not going to play nice with the... Okay. There's overall. Alright. Well, we may have to have some weird things about classes here. SDK is not playing nice, as we will go to our leader here real quick. Alright.
Are you ready to take your live events to the next level? Look no further than Pulse Studio, your one-stop destination for cutting-edge design solutions. Their expert team of designers specialize in crafting beautiful 3D renderings, animations, and content creation for the live events industry that will captivate your audience and bring your vision to life. Pulse Studio also has you covered for interactive guest experiences, anything from touchscreen content to immersing guests in unforgettable virtual or augmented reality experiences, guaranteed to leave a lasting impression. From concept to execution, Pulse Studio is here to elevate your events to extraordinary heights. Contact them today by visiting www.pulsestudio.com and bring your dreams to reality.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Sorry, had to reboot the computer, and apparently Windows decided that was the perfect time to attempt to apply an update. Loading back into iRacing right now, about 53%. So sorry for the black screen. But that should be fixed here very shortly. So give this here a second. 90%. Okay. So there's that. Alright, so we are back here with, it appears, Dominique Ford, there we go, is in your lead in GTP. So sorry we missed about 24 minutes of this race, first little half here. Looking like we got Mason Smith here in second for GTP, followed by Brandon here and Nick. So let's do a little bit. Okay, so good. So there's your leader, Tim Ponzi. Let's see if this plays nice, or we can also pull up our track map here real quick. There we go. As you can see, these guys are already all spread out over track. So, Chris, appreciate you watching, and sorry everybody for that. That's first time that one's happened. iRacing booting me out of the session and not letting me back in. Looks like Ponzi in at the 25-minute mark for his first fuel stop here. See if he's going to take tires. He's going up. He's at least going to be taking two. You can see Nickerson there right behind him, getting the rear tires spinning on that Porsche there. So, looking here, let's see. Also back here we see, there we go, past casket in that. Let's found a neat little trick with this guy as he's going. There we go. Load that. Huh. Well, earlier it gave me flames from the McLaren. There we go. There's the flames. The one redeeming quality for the McLaren. Oh, there we go. Let's go back to TV1 here. And let's check back in here with our leader. Dominique Ford has a 3.5 second gap here over second place Mason Smith. Then you see, oh, Scooby-Doo machine. Nice paint job there, Nick. So, let's check in with Clayton Montgomery here. What is that? The SWM livery? Alright. We have another, let's see, Simcoach's livery on that one. They look kind of similar there for a second. And then the cow camo, let's call it, of Casey Catola. Sahaj Patiar in that 212 machine there. Thaddeus Marshall in ninth here in another 212 machine running the Acura, and Eric Kunzman. Hope I didn't butcher that too bad. And Dave Tilford coming to pit for the lead from GT3. As you see, he's going to take some sort of tire there himself. So, let's see here. Second place, Tommy Ryan in the pits. followed by Craig Potter as Tim Ponzi will pass Tilford there in the pit phase, along with Nickerson and Jake Broder. Sorry if I get that one wrong. Here, first time we've seen him here in Premiere. But if he is doing a job of staying within a couple seconds here of Nickerson, yeah, good job there. Got Alan Elwood right on his tail in that Ferrari. Nathan Sides here in the Audi. You can see Tilford. Kevin Peak here in another BMW. AJ Roderick in another Ferrari. Tommy Ryan. There we go. There's a Porsche finally. Well, Nickerson was in the Porsche as well. Powell Casket in that flaming McLaren. Craig Potter in another Ferrari. Lawrence, I'm not going to try to pronounce your name, I will butcher that too bad, in another Porsche. And then we have a Mercs, the FedEx Merc. Okay, I see it, yeah. For a second there, I thought that paint wasn't applying correctly, but see how it's wrapped around. Nice job there. Kelly Pointer coming around for the pass here. Too wide, is going to be down into the braking zone here. Kelly going to have to make that one stick. I'll turn our in-game volume up here a little bit. I've got it muted on my end, so in the chat let me know if it's a little too loud, a little too quiet on those cars. Going here to Speedville. Kelly has made the pass there. Go back through the field here a little bit, see some of these new names. Taylor Schaefer, also running a Porsche there. Nice black and blue simple livery. Tim Thompson in the Speed Monkeys GT3 Porsche there. Jake Walker running a Ferrari. Looks like an Oakley paint scheme there. Mike Viglio in the Vigsy Motorsports Audi there. James Pierce is in the pits in the Soul GT40. Good to see that car is still coming out to race here. And we have... I've got a long list of people that did not wind up making the race here tonight, because we did have two splits. Is it just me, or is it starting to look a little dark? So, you know, we weren't... I wasn't expecting that. I didn't get a chance to check into it, but let's see if we have a... well, that scenic one's not. Let's hop in the... roll cam here, yeah. That's just a little bit of a dark sky up there, so let's hop back out of that there. Seeing Mason Smith running the, let's see here. We can do this. I can actually show you what everybody's running. So we'll do this, this, and that. There we go. You can see the car makes and everything as we go through here. Looking here on track, closest battle is going to be currently between Alan Elwood and Jake Browder. Only half a second apart. You know, I've been kind of keeping an eye on these two, though. Looks like he's getting it down there, so... Ooh. Having the GTP coming through and the kink there is always a scary matter there. So, looking back here, we have... let's see, who else is close? Yeah, Dave Tilford and Kevin Peak here, right on top of each other as well. Keep an eye and keep SDK happy as well. So, looking like everything's running pretty smoothly. So we will focus back here on our leader, Dominique Ford. Seems to be just putting in those perfect laps, you know, giving about 6 to 8 inches of clearance there, coming around that exit curbing, and right there on the line again. So obviously he is putting that car just where he wants it. Let's do a little detail shots here and this thing. And turn the video down just a smidgen there, so y'all can still hear. And let's look at the back of sorry. Apparently, we're gonna have to play with this for a second. I am so sorry about this. All my car cams did not get loaded. Sorry. Sorry, with 11 cars in the field, it can take a minute to find them all. I'm guessing since iRacing did a little crash. Alright, so that should have us good on our car cams again. So there you go. You can actually see the exhaust there on the Porsche throwing out that heat as it is getting darker. And there we go. Hide all that stuff we shouldn't be looking at. So that is just a neat camera there. Go into the gyro cam here. We got this nice little roll bar cam. Let's roll through some of these guys here. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Kind of see what it's like from Mason's point of view, trying to get around some of these GT3 guys here. Gotta just take them to the inside there. Made that one nice and easy. As Nick Tyrrell here is coming up on, I believe that's Tim Thompson in the Speed Monkeys Porsche ahead of him. You know, he getting a nice spot to catch these guys. Brandon having to go through after the kink, luckily not at the kink. And Clayton Montgomery not having any of that traffic there. So these guys are kind of spread out up here, but still Tim Ponzi and Nick Nickerson here within a second of each other. And then third and fourth in GT3, Jake Browder and Alan Elwood staying right around that half a second away. A little bit further back, you still have Dave Tilford and Kevin Peak right here on top of each other. Let's see. Will it play? No, it is just not wanting to play with my classes correctly. There we go. Yeah, that's actually working. It's grouping the classes now, but, well, maybe not. So, we will have that fixed there for next week. Not quite sure what SDK is trying to pull on us right now. Going back to the battle here for GT3 lead, Tim Ponzi and Nick Nickerson. Yeah, it is definitely getting dark. You can see the lights are coming out. We've got about 24 minutes left in this race, so should wind up being a full-on dark by the time we are done, or if not very close to it. If it is, you know, 20 minutes gone from what I thought was in the afternoon to apparently way late in the afternoon. Did you see the 4 there of Thaddeus Marshall coming around to put, well, I guess he's not the one lapping them, but coming through. As looks like Elwood getting close this time. Getting a little bit of help from the GTPs. Is he going to try to make a move down here into the braking zone? As we can follow along here, see the lights lighting up the back of that GT3. You know, the Ferrari is just a little quiet nowadays. I hate it, but it is one of those, it's a great car to drive, but it misses the sound. You know, you expect a little more from the Ferrari. Oh, there goes the lights too. Yeah, luckily it's not full dark there, but Jake Browder losing the back end of that car. Go back and let's watch that from the camera here, from outside the car. You can see he just loses it, and Alan, you know, all the way over, already trying to make that turn, just not having enough to avoid that one. We'll go back live here. As Alan likely will want to come in and get that fast repair because he has no headlights on that machine right now. You know, we can still see, but oh, catches that. Ooh. Well, it looks like the motor didn't go, so at least he'll be able to get back into pit lane. Definitely bent the frame up there a little bit on that thing. So hopefully he can make it back to pit road and won't have to tow, because I can tell you that's a longer tow than you would want it to be. As we go back through here, Dave Tilford getting around Jake Browder, who had to come into the pits. I'm guessing maybe some wheel damage to get fixed. As you can see, that puts... Oh, we have had a pass for the lead here. Let me try to find it. Looks like Nickerson getting around Ponzi here. Let's see how this happened. Oh, Ponzi having a little bit of contact with... Who was that there? Which GTP? Let's go back here real quick and see. That's going to be the 527 of Eric Kunzman. But that has promoted Nick Nickerson up into the lead and given him about a 4-second gap to Tim Ponzi. Dave Tilford running third in class there. So, let's see. Let's see. So it looks like Barry checking the chat here. You're pulling for Ponzi tonight, all right. Well, yeah. Up till about 30, 45 seconds ago, that was looking pretty good there, Barry. All right, let's go back and check in. We have Thaddeus Marshall and Casey Catola in the pits here at the same time. And looking like everyone else out on track. Everybody's got a little bit of a gap to each other at the moment. Let's pull the track map back up here, and you can kind of see the whole field kind of spread out a little bit of, let's see, find the number 27 car. Here, this will be a lot easier. Sahaj Padiyar making a pass there on a GT3. As you can see, it is getting darker and darker for these guys. All right, and we're back. Let's check in with our third place in GTP, Brandon. I'm sorry, Brandon. I'm not going to murder that. We'll have to. If you make it to the podium tonight, I'll ask you, and we'll try to get it correct for next week, along with quite a few other improvements. So, looks like the stream health is doing good. I'm not showing any dropped frames in OBS. So, all right. And checking back in here with our leader, Dominique Ford. Just pounding away doing the laps. Now managed to open up a 8-second gap over Mason Smith. Yes. I'm guessing with Thaddeus and Casey all pitting there a few laps ago. Well, it looks like Casey may have had some damage to take care of as he is still in the pits. So, checking in here. So it looks like third place in GT3. Dave Tilford is running about... Looks like it's 23 seconds off the back of Nick Nickerson there. And about 18 seconds here off of Ponzi. Dropping back behind Dave, you've got AJ Roderick here. He's another 8 seconds back. Tommy Ryan, we've seen him in core before. Mostly, though, we've seen him on the oval side, so... Looks like this man may have some chops, both turning left and right. Checking back here. Since it is dark, cannot wait to see the back of that. There we go. There are the flames from the McLaren. Yeah. It's not one of the cars you want to follow at night. Those flames get a little mesmerizing. Yeah, have an accident or two with them. So definitely something to watch out for if you're behind. But from our point of view here, it is nice to see. I wish they would include that for a few more vehicles. As who do we have coming into the pits right now? Looks like, yep, Dominique Ford coming out of the pits. Coming out in 5th position there. Pull up our little dashboard down here and to see, you know, exactly how fast these GTPs are. Let's take a ride along for this lap with Dominique. And you can see the speed difference to the Ferrari there, just insane. Already in the 7th gear at, I'm showing 176, 186 miles an hour maybe. And the telemetry we get for some of these guys is not as good as what you would want, but I understand iRacing doesn't want to give us anything that could allow some cheating. So, as you can see with this just getting dark, and you know, you start to lose some of your braking markers here at night, and Dominique appears to is not phasing him at all here. Looks like, well, we'll have to wait for Mason's pit here to see how that's going to come out. But here on the back stretch, looking the numbers I'm getting that I trust, let's see, I'm seeing 184, 185, 185 miles an hour. So, yeah, braking down all the way to 60 to 70 miles an hour. That's a lot of G-forces if this was real. I have a new leader here in GTP. Will be Nick Terrell, running that Scooby-Doo Mystery Machine paint job. So Nick, kudos on that. Always a Scooby-Doo fan myself. So, Raggy. All right. And Dominique coming back ahead of Mason in the pits here. We'll have to see where that was. About an 8-second gap going in. Dominique, let's see, to Mason 7.7, 7.8. So, yeah, not making a huge amount of time in the pit phase there. Have Sahaj Padiyar and Clayton Montgomery both in the pits now. As checking in on our GT3 field back here, it looks like Ponzi is 5.1 seconds off the back of Nickerson. So definitely a good amount of time for Ponzi to pull up there. Let's pull up our lap times here for these guys. As you can see, you see after lap 17, where Ponzi lost that 3 seconds. Lost a 1.5 seconds on the next lap. Pulled back a little bit, about a 1/10, but then lost 4/10 again. So, looks like Nick is trying to put the hammer down. As it is getting dark, dark, dark here tonight quickly. With all these trees along the track. Not getting any long shadows from the sun. Checking in 3rd place here, Dave Tilford. Now running 24 seconds behind our leader in GT3, Nick Nickerson. So, you know, Tilford's not letting Nickerson away either. Holding the gap steady to Ponzi. So these guys kind of just here in a little bit of a stalemate. But looking through here, showing Tommy Ryan is your big gain for this session here, up 33 places from the start. So, I'm not sure if Tommy wound up having to start from the pits, because I can't imagine somebody who is, you know, up to 5th place overall out of all these GT3s is only, you know. Of course, I know we've split the session, so there are a few weird things. Gonna have to get used to that here. We've never really had one of these, something this big. I'm not sure if having 60 cars in a session was causing some issues on the iRacing side, but definitely decided to give me the big middle finger and unfortunately cut about 20 minutes of broadcast off for y'all. Let's look back through here. Looks like your closest battles here on track will be between Thaddeus Marshall and Sahaj Padiyar at 1.6 seconds away from each other. You can see Sahaj lost 15 seconds last lap, so I'm guessing that was going to be something in the pit phase there. As we're seeing some new lap times out of these guys. 37 seconds. Okay, so yeah, they're 34. So that's all in the pit phase. But they've come out together 2 seconds. Looks like Sahaj might be putting the hammer down and maybe opening that gap there a little bit. Looking back through here, Jake Crowder and Kelly Pointer. So Jake was running up front earlier until he had a little bit of the issue there with Alan Elwood. Let's see here. No, we'll have to look actually, because SDK doesn't let me do that. Actually, SDK will let me do this. I just have to find the little guy. Where is it? Lap time history. Boom. There we go. It'll show me one ahead and behind. That's what I was looking for. Oh, we can actually just do this. That way. That one. Yep. As it appears. Why is it inverting those positions? I'm going to have to do this because it's going to break my head otherwise. Sorry, guys. Esbrauder took off in the last 3 laps. About a second and a quarter or so. So, making some steady progress there on Kelly. Checking in with Lawrence here. Looks like Pointer taking about a second a lap off of Lawrence here. So with them 2 seconds behind. So this should wind up being a nice battle with a lot of these guys coming into contact with the, well, not contact necessarily, but they'll be within spitting distance of each other here shortly. Matter of fact, I can try the battle box and see. That's not awful. Interesting to see the GTPs coming through there. Let's see, checking in here. Parks, yes. It is definitely dark. Let's see. Curtis Williams saying, let's go Mason. Yes. You know, Mason looks like losing some time there to Dominique. Let's see. Last lap. A little bit off. Showing. Oh, missed this one here. Having a little bit of an off-track incident, it appears, as I'm going to be coming through the kink here. Oh! Oh, little bit of a tail slapper there. Yeah, that's not the kink. That's down into turn 1, 2, and 3, I believe, technically, is what they call that one. So, good job, Mason, on a recovery, because that could have been very bad. But that has given Dominique Ford a little bit of breathing room. Yeah, Parks would definitely still have 0x, even in the dark. So, yeah, Parks will check in with Thaddeus Marshall here, is up to 7th in GTP, getting around Sahaj Padiyar there. Right in between, oh, it looks like Sahaj is trying to get around Powell. There you go, Parks. 2 of your friends all on track together, or 3 of your friends there on track together, all 2-1-2 guys. So, as we look here, I'm showing. What? Having a little bit of an issue here for Nick Nickerson. Okay. The Nick in his box. Not quite sure what happened here. We'll have to see if there is something. SDK didn't give me any notifications or anything. Everything appears fine. Not seeing any contact with the GTP there. Fast forward here just a wee little bit. So next, going into the pits here. Okay, well, let's hop in. Steering wheel looks straight. Looks like maybe Nick had to take some fuel. And then... okay. That one's weird there. I'm not sure what to tell everybody there. But that has promoted Tommy Ryan into the lead of the race. Showing an accident here from Lawrence. What happened here? Oh, little contact with the GTP there. Gets spun out. As it is very, very dark. So, you can see the tail lights there. We may have to try to find some different cameras here. I found a couple cars on track. It's not too bad. So, alright. As we have 5 minutes left in this race here. Going to, let's see here. On track, you have Sahaj and Thaddeus Marshall here right on each other. So this is, whoa, Sahaj, stay out of the grass. GTPs are not trucks. They don't like the grass. That's going to give Thad a little bit of breathing room. Cost Sahaj there a couple tenths. So is Sahaj going to be able to make a move down in here? Let's pull up these last couple of lap times. Yep, they've kind of just been trading lap times back and forth. So we'll keep an eye on that. But Tim Ponzi now coming up to the back of Tommy Ryan. Oh, Tommy having to come into the pits. I'm guessing they were just a little bit short on fuel. So Ponzi, you know, did he take a little extra fuel? I wonder if that's what happened with Nick there. And that has brought Jake Browder up to second place. Dave Tilford in third place in GT3. Kevin Peak is going to get promoted up to fourth place. And then we got Powell Casca back here in that lovely, lovely McLaren. I like looking at it. I do not like driving it. She's a nasty, temperamental little girl. It's about like a red-headed Italian lady. You know. Might be fun, but it's going to scare you a little as well. Checking in here with our sole Merc left in the field of Sean Connors. And like a remaining running guy back here is Tim Thompson in that Speed Monkeys Porsche that you can't see too much of. Well, we got just about a minute left here. It looks like Sahaj and the pits may have had to take some fuel. We're going to hop into the roll bar here and run through some of these different vehicles and kind of give you an idea of what it's looking like from the driver's kind of perspectives here. As far as what you can see and what you can't see. It's a whole lot of what you can't see for a lot of this. There's your Acura for GTP. There's another Porsche. Here's the Caddy. See if we can't turn up the Caddy volume a little bit, because it does sound so good. Turn it back down just a little bit there. Let's see. So this will be the Audi there of Tim Ponzi. Ooh, I hadn't noticed the steering wheel lights up on that one yet. That's a nice little touch there. The BMW of Jake Browder. Yeah, those old, older iRacing cars. But if you look at the lights that Tim has versus the lights of the old BMW, they're just not that good at night. So, pretty sure the headlights in my old '79 Chevy pickup, I've replaced them with LEDs, are better than what they're running here. You see the Ferrari's got a nice set of headlights there. Kind of a dark interior cabin. So, but you can see what you need to see. Got a nice light up steering wheel there. That's fine. Tommy Ryan in the Porsche there. Kind of see what the interior of that. Kind of bathed in that purple lights you can see up there at the top. That's a nice little touch by iRacing. Another one of the Audis here. Powell and that old, ancient McLaren that needs to desperately be updated by iRacing. You know, you can see it's just kind of dark. I think when that one was actually done, it didn't originally have any of the interior lights. And then the Merc here, you can kind of see has that same little purplish glow. You can see the light all the way in the top left-hand corner there. As we are coming up to the finish here. So this will be, I believe, the last lap here. As Dominic Ford is going up the hill. He's going to be going into Speedville Hill here very soon. So, be nice if there are a few more lights around this track. So, Dominique, you have a 15-second lead over Mason. No reason to risk it here going through the kinks, so be careful with the GT3s. It's Kelly Pointer there and that Ferrari as he goes around. I'm going to give a little shout out, a little bit of a thanks to excuse me, to Pulse for sponsoring the broadcast for this series. So if you need any, well, hopefully you saw the ad earlier. We'll run it again a little bit later, but they do 3D renderings and things of trade shows and whatnot, from what I understand. So, like I said, we'll run that, but just give a nice shout out to thank you for them sponsoring this broadcast. That's Dominique coming across the line there. So, if we look, I believe the first GT3 to pass the line will be Kelly Pointer back there. As Mason Smith and Brandon on each other's tails. 0.2 of a second on the finish line there. That is a nice close finish. As Nick Terrell will be coming by here. And then we'll have to find... Okay, so Ponzi's there. Yeah. So we'll watch Tim Ponzi come by here. He has an 11-second lead over Jake Browder there for the GT3 win. Jake managing to open up a little bit of a gap there over Dave Tilford. And Dave Tilford having a little bit of a gap back there to Kevin Peak. As that, so Dave Tilford already finishing there, and Ponzi finishing, and Browder finishing. So yeah, Kevin Peak will be the next across the line here. Having a little bit of a battle there with AJ. Kevin taking the spot away on that one. So let's tell everybody they're going to need to get into the broadcast booth here. I'm sure there is going to be Alright, so yeah, we'll find this here. Where it is. Discussion. Alright, so let's see here. Broadcast waiting room. So let's pull on. Find a little bit back here. Find this one. Let's go to quarter time and we will pull in Dave Tilford if I can find Mr. Tilford. Tilford. Yep. I'm gonna have to play into a few things here. There we go, so I can get that big enough. David, this is John in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, I gotcha.
So pulling out a third place in GT3 there. Very nice.
Yeah, thank you much.
They did not realize the session was going to wind up being dark.
Yeah, I didn't know it was going to be quite that dark. Did some testing. I thought it was going to be, a little after dusk, but it turned pitch black.
Yes, very, very quickly I noticed. All those trees
Yeah.
along the track, I think, just blocking the sun up.
Yeah, it was a quick change. It was the moon set, the sun set. Maybe we had an eclipse. Something happened, and yeah, it got pretty interesting.
All right, well, didn't get to watch everything here tonight. Had quite a few computer issues with iRacing booting me out right as y'all were getting started. So unfortunately, about 20 minutes missing of the broadcast. But yeah, it looks like you had a pretty clean race and nothing really crazy.
Yeah, I guess you missed some of the drama at the beginning, turn one, as usual sometimes. But yeah, after that, pretty clean. And then I guess the other thing, lap one, James Pierce had a gear malfunction and wouldn't shift in front of me, and ended up getting into the back of him a little bit. So just those two things, pacing incidents and that gear malfunction were the drama for me tonight.
Well, congratulations on the third place. Good way to start off the season, and hopefully we'll catch you next week.
Yeah, appreciate it. Appreciate all the guys coming out tonight and dealing with having a couple splits out there with not knowing, how many would show up. And hope everyone was able to have fun. And the guys that are still racing over in split two, hope they are ready to go next week to race with everyone.
All right. What was the final count that we got for tonight between both splits?
I believe it was 47.
Okay.
Might have been more depending on if any joined late and ended up in the second split.
All right. Well, again, congratulations, and we'll catch you next week.
All right, thanks, John. Appreciate it.
Thank you. All right, let's pull our second place, which will be Jake Browder in here. There we go. Jake, this is John in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. How's it going, John?
Oh, going all right. It seems like, the little bit I did catch, because iRacing booted me out in the first little bit of the race. Looks like you and David had a nice little battle there. Kept it close for quite a while.
Yeah, we did. Me and Alan Elwood had a really good battle, and I had a little moment. He ran to the back of me, but other than that, it was a good race.
Yeah, that was the other one I was going to say. Y'all were within about a half a second for at least 10 laps.
Yeah, the whole first stint, we were at least half a second apart. The only thing that kept us apart was the traffic, thankfully.
Yeah, that the traffic sometimes, were you expecting it to get dark, or did that kind of take you by surprise here tonight?
No, that definitely took me by surprise. I figured it ended the daylight, but it was a good surprise.
Well, I know the lights on that BMW are not the best in the world.
No, they were not. At the end of the race, I was just trusting my gut. I didn't even know where I was going. Just trusting the braking markers.
Well, at least you picked ones that the headlights would light up.
Yeah, at least, right?
Oh, definitely. So, first time in this league, you didn't have some good racing and enjoy everything?
Oh yeah, yes sir. It was a very good time. First
Well,
multi-class league been in.
Let's see here. I think next week we are going to Monza. So I'm sure turn one there, always has its fun points.
Yeah, I'm hoping to be a little more competitive at Monza.
Well, congratulations on the second. Anybody you want to give a shout out to on that number 74 machine?
Yes, sir. Shout out to Mr. 101, Kevin Peak, KJ Racing to the top.
All right. Well,
Thank you, John.
We'll hope to catch you next week.
Yes, sir. You will. Thank you.
So that was Jake Browder there. Was pull in Tim Ponzi, our GT3 winner. Hey, come on. There we go.
Hey, thanks, man.
Tim, this is John in the booth. You got a copy?
How we doing, buddy?
Well, I mean, iRacing wanted to be iRacing, SDK wanted to be SDK, and Windows
So
decided
your
I needed.
broadcast kind of went like my race, huh?
Let's just say it's missing the first 20 something minutes. As soon as y'all started to take the green flag, so it booted me out. As soon as y'all got done with qualifying, I reloaded it, got in just enough time to see y'all gridding, and then when the green flag dropped, it crashed, made me restart Windows. Windows updated. So yeah, about 24 minutes into the race, we finally got our broadcast going.
And that was for me, it wasn't very exciting. So you didn't miss much with me.
Well, I saw you and Nick were having quite the battle there for a while, being about a second apart.
I'm trying to figure out what happened. I have no clue what happened. I mean,
I saw Nick drive into the wall at the end of pit lane after pitting.
he must have disconnected or some wheel disconnect or.
Yeah, it was weird. It just looked like the car went right. Not a ton right, but he just drove into the wall.
Oh, that suck. Yeah, I mean, because the first stint, I had good pace, and I noticed I was burning the tires up pretty good towards the end of the stint. The second stint, I kind of knew I had a little bit of pace, but I kind of wanted to save a little bit of tire because I knew I wasn't going to have to have a splash and go at the end. And so I was hoping he was going to burn his up, trying to, reel me in. And then whatever happened in that right-hander with Koonsman, I have no clue. And then, so I was 5 seconds back, so I just settled for second. I seen him pit, and then I went in and pit, come out in the lead. I looked up, and he wasn't even on the board. So I feel bad for him. I mean, he was fast.
Oh, well, Nick's always fast. It's a little bit of a case, kind of like Colin McRae, checkers or wreckers. But congratulations on the win tonight. Anybody you want to give a shout out to on that 46 machine?
Yeah, shout out to my brother finally getting back in here. He made the broadcast, and I know he struggled. He hasn't been racing for a while, so it was nice to get him back on track. Shout out to Vigsy Motorsports, and I think we're bringing Joe Sullivan on board. So,
well, it'd be good to see Sullivan running around on a road track.
Right, and yeah, and then the wife and kids for putting up with me being down here all this time.
Well,
and you guys.
Well, we appreciate it. And again, congratulations, and hopefully we'll catch you next week at Monza.
Hey, thanks, man.
All right. So let's bring our third place in GTP, Brandon, in here. Brandon, this is John in the booth. You got a copy?
I do. What's up, John?
Oh, just watching that race, and it kind of got dark awfully quick. What was your take on that?
Yeah, it's a good thing we had lights because we were able to see and get around the track pretty good. It's always fun when the lights go down. Kind of gives you a different aspect on the racetrack and makes you kind of pay a little bit more attention to your braking zones.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's amazing though. It surprised me. I was like, oh well, it should be nice and dusky when they finish. About 10 minutes later, it's like, oh, it's dark. So how we're getting around the GT3s, was that terrifying in the dark?
No, it wasn't too bad. By the time it got kind of like dark, like harder to see, everything was kind of spread out a little bit better. So you weren't running up on packs of GT3s and trying to find your way around them. But for the most part, even during the light, the GT3 traffic wasn't that bad. Everybody was kind of on their game and paying attention to their mirrors and making smart decisions.
Yeah, I know, especially here catching a GT3 right at the kink can be one of those just killing your lap things, or do you try to be a hero and send it where you probably shouldn't?
Yeah,
So,
I was just talking to Mason, and it's like it's my first race in this league, and you don't want to be that guy that comes in your first race and takes out like 6 cars. So I was just trying to be a little bit more conservative, get through the traffic, just be clean, and have the car at the end to battle.
yeah, definitely looks like, I looked away for a minute to check on a few people and didn't realize that you and Mason had closed that gap down and, finished with, what was it, about 0.8 of a second?
Yeah, I was trying to get him there at the end. He said he had some damage on the car, which slowed him up, which I could see that because he had quite a big gap on me. I think it was like 7 or 8 seconds. And then all of a sudden he was right in front of me. So we were trying to push a little bit harder. And I know coming out of, I think it was like turn 8, I got to the gas a little too soon and kind of kicked her sideways and gave up too much space to him. But, we'll take the P3. I mean, it's a good outing for the first race, solid points, and we move on.
Yeah, I'll say Mason is a heck of a road driver. So, being within speaking distance of him is always a nice accomplishment. So, anybody you want to give a shout out to on that 396 machine before we let you go?
Yeah, shout out to the guys back at Highside Motorsports for jumping on with us. We had a GT3 car and a few different GTPs we were running. We have Bumper Thumper, Race Tools Direct, Competition Auto Body, and then Ryko.gg on the car. So shout out to all those guys for making it happen. Shout out to everybody in the league that runs everything. I think Carl's been doing a lot of the legwork this week as all of us new guys kind of funneled in. So I know that's a lot of work to do, but thanks to him and everybody that keeps everything going, keeps the lights on, and thanks to everybody with the broadcast. I know it's not easy doing it, and thank you for being there.
Yeah, well, we missed about the first 20 minutes between iRacing and Windows. They wanted to completely ruin my night, but
sometimes they don't like to talk to each other.
oh, it was the bad thing is I did one. I've made some changes to my setup and everything, so I did one Monday night, and I was like, okay, everything went perfect, great, just audio changes. That's all I needed.
Yeah.
Maybe a few cameras. Yeah. As soon as y'all went from qualifying to race, it just locked, and I was like, uh-oh.
Oh, no. Well, hopefully we'll get it all figured out for next week.
Yeah, it will be much better for next week. So, again, congratulations, and we'll get you on out of here and let you go celebrate.
Hey, thanks, man. Have a good night.
You too. All right, let's bring our second place Mason Smith in here. Let's see if we can, I wonder if I can get, there we go. I'm going to run iRacing back so you can actually see these cars in the daytime. Yeah, there we go. Mason, this is John in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
So, you're right there, a few seconds behind Dominique. Seemed like he maybe had a slight edge of pace on you right up until we saw you kind of go a little bit wide, coming through that long right-hander and touching the wall there.
Yeah. I think that moment I was dozing off a bit, but at least I didn't get really any damage from it. I was lucky that the car was still going, but yeah, Dom was just I would say he outpaced, but telling me he had the same pace, nah, he kind of like outpaced me by a bit on this track, which is one of my favorites considering it's a road course. But yeah, he outpaced me tonight in that Porsche.
You think a lot of that just the difference between the Porsche and the Audi and how they drive there at the limit, maybe?
Yeah, there's like key differences on how they drive. With Acura being the fuel efficient, I thought that like taking one lap, I thought him short pitting would benefit me from closing on him just a little bit, but I don't think it mattered because we didn't have to save any fuel here by taking a 2-stopper. So yeah, I didn't really have an answer for him tonight.
Yeah, it seemed like Brandon, after that little incident there, started to close the gap on you. I didn't even realize it till the end. I was like, oh, Brandon's right behind him. So, good job, I guess, holding Brandon off for second place tonight.
Yeah, thank you. He's all the guys, the newer guys. There's so many new guys here. That we had to do a 2-split race, and yeah, I mean, hats off to Brendan. He has like all those guys. They have the pace. They showed up and showed out. You know.
Well, again, congratulations on second. Anybody you want to give a shout out to on that number 6 machine before we let you go?
Absolutely to the guys. There's like millions and millions of guys that just entered the core racing league. It might die down a bit, which that's okay because every league does that. But and to my family that always watches the races. So yeah.
Well, again, congratulations, and hopefully we'll catch you next week at Monza. Just watch out for turn 1.
Yeah, I would definitely watch out for turn 1.
All right. That was Mason Smith for second place. We're going to bring our winner, Dominique Ford, into the booth.
Oh my God. Sorry.
Oh, that's fun. So, Dom, it looks like, he had just a smidgen more pace than Mason all night to wind up taking the win.
Yeah, it was interesting. We're all still getting used to this IMSA stuff. I think me and Mason were similar around in pace. When we were going to the practice sessions, I thought we were pretty close. I don't know, I love this track, so maybe that had to play into effect, and they were like, you know what, we'll give him the win or something. But I don't know, it was fun racing out there though.
Well, it's a little easier when you're in GTP, when you're the leader trying to get through some of the lap traffic compared to when you're in second or third. They don't quite always give the second and third ones through the same berth.
True.
But as far as the multi-class traffic, was it bad tonight, or everybody play nice and get along pretty well?
For the most part, I mean, for me, I'm going to speak for my race. For me, it felt really good. There were a few questionable decisions by some of those GT3 drivers, but for the most part, we got through it. Pretty cleanly. There were some drivers where, they weren't sure if they should be on the left and the right, or they'll try to swing over to one side of the track to let me go. My thing is, and every GTP will say the same thing, just stick to the racing line, hold one side of the track, don't try and, move over really fast while we're behind you, because we're coming up behind you with so much speed. And when you move over, that just changes that, and then, one of us could end up crashing, and you just don't want that. So just stick to one side of the track, and, hopefully we can find our way by pretty cleanly. I know there were some other drivers that, had some issues, or some GTPs are sending it too late, or they would hit another car. And, just practice. That's all it takes is practice. You just have to practice the braking. That's the biggest difference between GT3s and GTPs, is just braking. You just got to practice that stuff. But for the most part, I thought it was a pretty clean race. Wasn't too many wrecks apart from the start of the race, but it was pretty clean.
You put that many people together, and you're bound to have a few little issues here and there. But
True.
Congratulations on winning the first one for Season 7 here. And anybody you want to give a shout-out to on that number 91 machine?
Big shout out to you in here. I know you're, up here alone in the broadcast booth. I hope we put on a show out there for you. I know for the most part it might have been at the start of the race, or maybe towards the middle, it was pretty dodgy with some of the traffic going on and maybe some crashing. So I hope we were able to put out a show out there for you. Shout out to the whole field. This is, first race of the season, and we're all still trying to get used to IMSA racing. Some of us maybe need to get used to a little bit more than others, but watch some YouTube videos, or just even watching IMSA in general. It really opens up your eyes to, how can I let a GTP by me safely? How can this GTP overtake me safely? Or how can I overtake this GT3 safely? But it was good racing all around. Shout out to Mason, Brandon, Timothy, Jake, and David. They put out a show out there, and I managed to get a podium. So good job for them. And yeah, I think I checked all the boxes.
Well, congratulations. We're heading to Monza next week. You looking forward to that one?
Monza's another one of my favorite tracks. This calendar, I love it. Like apart from Bathurst, apart from that track, all the rest of them seem like really good tracks, and I'm excited for Monza and what it has to come. Hopefully, GT3 passing will be a lot easier since there's so many straights. But we'll see how it goes.
All right. Well, congratulations, and we will hopefully see you next week.
Yes, likewise. Good night.
All right. That was Dominique Ford, your winner there. Let's pull up real quick while I can. Do I have to go to live? Yes. We have to be live, and with the scenic view, it's not going to work right now. So sorry for the black background. Your race winner, Dominique Ford. Second place, Mason Smith. Brennan, I meant to ask Brennan how to pronounce his last name. We'll have to catch him next week before the race and catch that. In third, Nick Terrell. In fourth, Clayton Montgomery. In fifth, Daniel Nons. In sixth, Thaddeus Marshall. In seventh, Eric Kunzman. In eighth, Sahash Patiar. In ninth, and then we get down into the GT3 list. Tim Ponzi taking your win in GT3. Second place, Jake Browder. Third, Dave Tilford. Fourth, Kevin Peak. Fifth, AJ Roderick. Sixth, Tommy Ryan. Craig Potter in seventh. Powell Casca in eighth. And Lawrence in ninth. Let's do that here. So, Lawrence. I'm having to go through and figure this out here. 10th will be Nathan Sides. 11th, Kelly Pointer. 12th, Sean Connors. Taylor Schaefer, I believe, is GTP. So after Taylor, it's a little sketchy. We will have this all worked out for next week with the classes. I'm not sure exactly what SDK is trying to do to me here. But from everybody here at Core Racing, y'all have a wonderful night. And we're going to roll this little ad from our sponsor here, Pulse.
Are you ready to take your live events to the next level? Look no further than Pulse Studio, your one-stop destination for cutting-edge design solutions. Their expert team of designers specialize in crafting beautiful 3D renderings, animations, and content creation for the live events industry that will captivate your audience and bring your vision to life. Pulse Studio also has you covered for interactive guest experiences, anything from touchscreen content to immersing guests in unforgettable virtual or augmented reality experiences, guaranteed to leave a lasting impression. From concept to execution, Pulse Studio is here to elevate your events to extraordinary heights. Contact them today by visiting www.pulsestudio.com and bring your dreams to reality.